Hey everyone, this is Max at MaxCTCG. Thank you for joining me in another video. So in this video, we're going over the Fire King structure deck. So this can be a basics guide for beginner players really, and we're going to focus on all the cards in the structure deck that are worth playing, their synergies with the deck. We'll discuss different ways you can upgrade the deck from a structure deck. Look at some basic hand traps that are great in a lot of decks that are pretty cheap right now. Different budget, engines you can include, like Dogmatika or Tri-Brigade. And Tri-Brigade has done actually really well recently. And then we can also look at the more expensive cards that are going to be really good moving forward and are still solid in the deck now with the Sinful Spoils engine. We'll talk about new cards that are coming out like Bonfire and Maze of Millennia that just dropped. And then we'll also look at cards from Photon Nightmare, like Snake Eye Populace and the Promethean Princess. And we'll kind of discuss through these different synergies, look at different options for side deck cards based off what structure deck budget players will have options to, and then how you can upgrade those cards and what might be worth playing depending on different situations in the meta. And then also go through different side deck options you can consider playing as well. And that'll kind of round out the video. It's definitely going to be a longer one because we're going to be going through all the cards more in depth and really explaining them. So if you're more of a competitive player, you're familiar with a lot of these cards and how they actually work and their basic synergies, I'd move to the next section of the video where we go through the deck profile, discuss ratios and synergies from a deck perspective, not like individual card perspectives. Alright, so next we'll get into the Tri-Brigade cards. So we have Tri-Brigade Fractal, Tri-Brigade Kit, Tri-Brigade Nerval, and Tri-Brigade Cuirass. So all these Tri-Brigade monsters kind of have a similar first effect, or not similar first effect, but similar effect that they all can do. Their first effects are all a little different. So the main effect that they all share, you can banish any number of Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters in your grave, special summon one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast Link monster from your extra deck with a Link rating equal to the number of banished. Also, you can only use Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters as Link material for the rest of this turn. So they all share this effect to be able to cheat out Beast Warrior, Beast, or Winged Beast monsters that are Link monsters in your extra deck. So if you're playing the Tri-Brigade engine, you want to play a few targets for this that are helpful to have as utility as well as engine. And then they all kind of have their own loop that they cause. So Fractal can be sent from your hand to the grave, and this will make it so you can add or send one level 3 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your deck to the grave. So that will generally send Kit. When Kit sent to the graveyard, if this card sent to the graveyard, you can send one Tri-Brigade card from your deck to your graveyard. So that will send Nerval. When Nerval is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand, which will generally add Cuirass. And Cuirass is a way of being able to get a special summon from the deck. So this will make it so that way you can discard one other Beast, Beast Warrior, Winged Beast to special summon this card, which then lets you banish up to 2 or 3 Beast Warriors just from the Tri-Brigade cards that are in your grave to then summon out a Link monster. So this can be really helpful for kind of getting this engine going. One thing that Tri-Brigade kind of suffers with is its normal summon, and because you might want to be using your normal summon on Ponyx, these cards allow you to then get access to getting your normal summon from Ponyx, but then also being able to get Cuirass on the board to be able to get the Tri-Brigade cards. And one of the best cards in Tri-Brigade is Tri-Brigade Revolt. That's special summon a number of your Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beasts that are banished and or in your graveyard, negate their effects, then immediately after this effect resolves, Link summon one Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters. You can activate one Tri-Brigade Revolt per turn. The reason why this card is so good is because of what it summons and also how it works with summoning monsters back. So what we'll do is we'll go through all the cards that you could be playing for the Tri-Brigade package, as well as some utility cards, and we'll kind of discuss all those cards and why Tri-Brigade Revolt is really playable once you understand those cards. So we have first card, Tri-Brigade Arms Bucephalus. This really isn't used for its on-field effect due to how difficult it is to summon. It is a really good card if it was easier to play, but it's a Link 5 that needs 3+ Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters. So you'd either need 5 of these total, or Link monsters that have at least 3 monsters on the field, and their Link ratings plus material would have to add up to 5. And it also can only be summoned if you have 3 or more Tri-Brigade spell or traps in your grave, so you really need a dedicated Tri-Brigade deck to even consider summoning this, which makes it pretty difficult to play. Most of the time, it's really just used as a send target from the extra deck to send Garua or other Beast or Winged Beast monsters. The main card of the deck is Tri-Brigade Shuraig, the Ominous Omen. If this card is special summoned, or if another Beast, Winged Beast, or Beast Warrior is special summoned to your field, you can banish one card on the field. So this is a non-targeting banish. So it means that because it doesn't say target a card, your opponent doesn't get to respond when you pick, because the card you banish is going to be on resolution. So they have to respond before you choose a target, which is nice, because if it was a targeted banish, they could potentially remove that target from the field. Where with now this card being summoned, no matter what they do, as long as they have a card on the field, you could still banish it. So it's a lot harder to play around. So you'll be able to summon this card off Revolt, getting a banish, which is nice. Next we have Tri-Brigade Bearbrumm, the Rampart Rampager. It says you can discard 2 cards, target one of your banished level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters, special summon it. Gives you a way to extend, but at a pretty hefty cost of discarding 2 cards. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Tri-Brigade spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn, except Tri-Brigade monsters. You can only use each effect of Bearbrumm once per turn. So this is how you search Revolt, is by getting to Bearbrumm. And then we have Tri-Brigade Ferrijit, the Barren Blossom. So this is 2 Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters, so like 2. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your hand. Also, you cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn except Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast, so you're kind of getting type locked with this deck a lot. If this card is sent to the graveyard, draw 1 card, place 1 card on the bottom of the deck. So this card is nice because it will give you extension, so Pawnex triggers off normal or special. So even if you go for more of your Tri-Brigade cards, you can use this to get your Pawnex on the field to kind of get its effect and the Fire King cards in rotation. It also lets you, when sent to the graveyard, draw a card and put a card back. So it's not just a complete +1 in terms of drawing a new card, but it does let you kind of fix your hand a little bit, which can be really nice. So if you draw a card you don't want to draw, but you want to search, or you draw too many of the same card, you can put one of those back for a new card. So that's also really helpful. A couple other cards you can go into. We have Ancient Warrior Oaths Double Dragon Lords. So this is 2 Beast Warrior monsters, including an Ancient Warrior. So this is a card that we can't normally summon because we're not playing Ancient Warriors in the deck, but you can cheat this card out with the Tri-Brigade cards. It says all Ancient Warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack or defense, so boost this card up to 1600. It says you can use each of the following effects of Ancient Warrior Oath Double Dragon Lord per turn. If this card is link summoned, add 1 Ancient Warrior card from your deck to your hand. So again, unless you're playing Ancient Warriors, that doesn't really matter. But quick effect, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the grave, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, return to the hand. So this is a targeting bounce. So in a format where Fire King is probably going to be pretty prominent going forward, especially after Phantom Nightmare, being able to remove your opponent's cards without destroying them is going to be really helpful. And this also works really well with Tenki in the Tri-Brigade deck, because of the fact that you can send Tenki to the grave for Double Dragon Lords after already using its search effect. It's a little nice synergy there. We also have the Desperate Doom Eagle. So it gains 2400 attack while your opponent has no monsters in their grave, so it's going to get pretty big, but that's going to be kind of a harder condition to hit generally. And quick effect, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's grave, shuffle it into the deck. So this is also nice against Tri-Brigade, or against Fire King, because they might be waiting on cards to trigger. So like if their Pawnex was destroyed and in the graveyard, you could shuffle it back into the deck so it doesn't add back to hand, so they lose that resource loop. Wrong's in the graveyard and they're waiting for a search, you can shuffle that back into the deck, so it can't trigger. You can shuffle Garunixes into the deck, so those can't be summoned back. So there's a lot of really nice things that you can shuffle back into the deck, so that way they don't get their graveyard effects. So another really good card that you can cheat out, banishing 3 cards, for the Tri-Brigade effects. You also have Scareclaw Light-Heart. So the effect on this card, we'll read through it, but it doesn't really matter in this deck. It says for this card's link summon, you can only use monsters in your main monster zone as material. If this card is link summoned, in the extra monster zone, add 1 primitive planet, rank Phobia, from your deck to your hand. If you control Visa Starfrost, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So the main thing that this is used for is that it's a link 1 Beast Warrior monster. So this lets you go with any of your Tri-Brigade cards, as long as you have 1 Beast Warrior in the grave, you can banish it, summon this, and then link into one of your other Tri-Brigade cards. So it just makes it a little bit easier to get your plays going by having this as an option. So that pretty much covers Tri-Brigade cards. One of the synergies to point out with Revolt is when Revolt summons the cards back from the banished or graveyard. If you summon back from the banished, you'll get those cards back to the graveyard to be able to banish again, which is nice for a resource game. But you also get the trigger effects of those cards. So if you were to send a kit, you get to send another card. So maybe send another Nerval. If you send Nerval back to the grave, you get to search another card, so you get follow up, which is really nice. If you send any of your links, you get to trigger their effects again, potentially draw a card, search a card. But one thing to point out is you can only special summon cards that were properly summoned. So if you cheat out a card with a Tri-Brigade monster, that is not considered a proper summon. So when you use Revolt, you can't actually summon those monsters back. You can only summon the monsters back that were properly summoned on the field. So if you use 2 monsters on the field to make, Ferrijit, you can then bring back the Ferrijit. But if you cheated out the Bearbrumm, you cannot bring back the Bearbrumm. So those are just things to consider and keep in mind when using Revolts. You're not cheating and misusing it on accident. Another synergy with Tri-Brigade that you could do is Garunix can actually destroy a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast Fire monster from your deck. So you can actually destroy Kit to trigger your Tri-Brigade cards by starting with your Fire King cards. So that's another synergy that deck has, which is nice. You don't necessarily have to rely on Fractal to get your Tri-Brigade plays going, which is a cool option that you can potentially do, which is nice with like Fire King Island. So you have some synergies there with Tri-Brigade, which is nice. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. See you there. And if you want to join and become a patron to support the channel because you like the content I'm making, you can find the links in my video description about page on my YouTube channel or my website. You can see different things that will come with each of the tiers, as well as each tier having a 7-day free trial to try it out and see if you like it before committing financially. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos.